All right, I'm Darcy Matters. I'm one of the head organizers for Dusk Till Dawn Street Fans in Prince Edward Island, Canada. And we're here at our 47th annual, the longest running in Canada, annual event that is. And we have about 60 vans in this weekend. Did a cruise today with 45 vans to Summerside. Great time so far. Great band in tonight, so we're going to party hardy tonight. If you weren't here, you should have been, because we're going to have a great time. But I'm just here with John and going to do an interview with some shots of my van. It's a 1980 Dodge. I've owned for 16 years, bought it in 2008. And it's been multiple colors since then. It's called the Nightcrawler. And it's just been in a paint there for about 2 months. Jacques Jouard painted it for me in New Brunswick. And it's done black base coat with a ultraviolet purple pearl in the clear coat with color changing flames that go for green to different colors as you walk around. It's called the Nightcrawler because I'm a night nurse. I don't have a shop. The only time I get to work on it is at night in my yard. And it's nothing for the neighbors to see me crawling around under my van in the middle of the dark. And it used to be called Rumble Van because it was pretty noisy, and then it came to me when I was putting an underglow on one night, and I rolled over and I put my hand in a pile of dog. And that's when I got the Nightcrawler. So the front end is actually metal scoops that were welded in by Marvin McDonald for me into a factory hood. And I did a phantom grille by recessing the headlights by 2 inches, which wasn't too bad. And I took 2 factory grills, cut out this section, and cut each spline individually and glued and put them back into place to create the phantom look. And as soon as anybody else does it, I'll take it out. But like I said, it's just a mash of putting things together.
The holes, is that for your brakes?
These?
Yeah, did you put them, or did it come like that?
No, those holes, I put them in there for a fog light to have, a 55 watt projection fog light that just haven't got mounted yet.
Okay.
I just got it back at a paint a month before the Nats, and there was no interior or anything in it. So a lot of things aren't done yet. There's no lighting underneath or in, and it's always a work in progress.
Oh, yeah.
And on the roof, I CB antenna and the old school TV antenna, which there is a TV in there, and NorCal wing on the back. I'm not sure what brand the sun visor is, but I was lucky enough to find that. I hated my old sun visor. But I actually am one of the only ones around here that has a sunroof that doesn't leak, knock on wood.
Wow.
It's been in there since I bought it, and I've never had a leak so far, other than if the fur around it gets sucked up while I shut it. That gets in the seal. That's the only time I've had a leak there, but
No problem.
no problems otherwise. And on the back, I got pop-outs with stationary louvers, 2-sided taped on there for years, so you can still open them. They don't have the ugly clips, and you can still see the stainless around the edges. I did have a French antenna. That was my only problem coming back from the Nats. I lost my antenna coming through New Hampshire. So have to put a new one of those in. Blue dots in the taillight, of course. I have the personalized banner plate for Prince Edward Island. There's 2 people here today from the Maritimes with that. And not much else done on the back other than the heavy hitch and light setup. All right, up front, it's still a little messy because I haven't got the interior all back together yet. I did new door panels on the side. I wanted them all one color, hard color of course, white on black. It was Elvin Godby here out of Texas that managed to get all these together for me. And we do good trade. We've been trading license plates for years. Elvin's a really good guy. And I got them on both doors, door panels. And then I did gauge packages, of course, to keep an eye on things and attack. And all switches up top for various lighting that has to be put back in, as I didn't have any interior in it at all a week before the Nats. So it was a rush job to get everything done. And fun for to fill in the space between the headliner and sunroof to fill in that gap. CB,
of course.
stereo, of course, 4-speaker sound system is all, and
we got sunroof fire like we talked about earlier.
yeah.
Little shag.
And the
Little
CB
shag.
is hooked up to the speakers in the overhead.
Oh,
Because usually you can't hear them otherwise over the van and the tunes when you're driving.
Yeah. And your seats look real comfortable.
The seats are out of an early 2000s Chevy truck, and I opted for those because they have the seat belt built into the headrest, as I did not have any seat belts before. This van never came with seat belts, as for whatever reason with Dodge in the 1980, the seat belts were optional if you didn't have any windows in your van. If it was a window van, they came standard. And this was a special order job at the time. It's been a custom van since it was bought new. And I think I am the 4th owner. The prior owner is on the field today. He owned it for 15 years before me.
Wow.
All right, like I said, I had no interior a week before the Nats, so it was sort of a flurry. I got the new seats in out of early 2000s Chevy half-ton, like I said, with built-in seat belts in the headrest. I put in a new vinyl flooring. So the floor I put in was actually a vinyl cushion flooring that has the texture of wood, but is easy to keep clean and doesn't let any wetness if you spill anything through. From past experience of having a couple of different floors, I find that's the way to go. Very cheap too, only about $60 to do a van. And you know, like I said, a week prior to the Nats, nothing was in here, so everything still has to be fitted a little better and closed in around the fridge and cabinets. So it was interesting. I was wanting the countertop to fit perfectly for the TV, and I found a 3-inch thick piece of cottonwood live edged that we plain sanded, stained, and put in a few hours the night before the Nats, and made the wall for the bed and bed area, upholstered everything. Again, I have heart-shaped portholes to go with lights behind them to go in the holes that just haven't got mounted yet. For my speaker grills, after losing 2 speakers, somebody's heel going through them, I had some Econoline grills hanging on the wall, and the Econoline grills are perfect for a 6x9 speaker.
Great idea.
The headlights do light up. They have purple strobes in them.
Cool.
And they work great. The bed works as a speaker box. And people say, why the hell do you put Ford grills in a Dodge? And I say, I'm always used to seeing a Ford behind me, so. Ford guys don't like that.
I see you got your fire extinguisher over here.
Always have a fire extinguisher and first aid kit on board. I actually probably have another fire extinguisher in here somewhere. I like to keep one under the bed, one up front and one here.
In your ice box there.
And the ice box was just a cheap find at a pawn shop for 50 bucks, and it fit perfect. So now I can actually, with the inverter, have some cold stuff on the go while I'm moving.
And this is you said you put this in like surprise for your son.
At the Nats. He didn't know I brought it. I brought the PlayStation and had it in a briefcase under the bed. The TV was in the bed under a blanket, so it all got installed the first night at the Nats, and it was a little surprise for him in case he got bored, but he never got bored too much when he was there. He had a great time.
That's cool. That's cool. And you did a real nice job on the ceiling too.
Well, my other half did all that for me while we were doing the countertop and flooring. It still needs some screws hidden, but it's coming a long way, and Facebook Marketplace is a great place to find material.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I managed to get all the gray for the walls in sealing and tons left over for 15 bucks, so that was great, because your fun fur upholstery here now is about $120 a yard.
Wow.
So to do a van is super expensive.
Yeah.
And the ceiling over the bed feels like a bit of rabbit fur. So, and for inside the walls for insulation, all I used at the time was your silver foil insulation on the walls. It originally had pink insulation in it when I bought it. That was a mess. One of the worst things you could do in the northern climate is put pink insulation in a van.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, looks great.
All right. Well, as you can see, we're at an event, and I still got some crap in the bed and everything. We have our float, and there's always 50-50 tickets and stuff thrown in the back. You can never keep your van clean when you're also organizing an event, but that is the fun fur I was talking about. Very soft, and actually helps as the insulation too, because some of us here, our last van in of the year is in October, I believe, so it can be icy puddles sometimes in the morning.
Well, I can
I've never got a chance to take it out of the van since I got back.
There you go.
I managed to take first in my class Dodge at the Van Nationals.
Yeah.
I did also won the same award in 2019 when I went to the Massachusetts Nationals, so I got a pair of them now.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, she's beautiful. I tell you, you got a good start on her.
Yes.
Put it that way. So like you said, you threw it together quick
Yep.
just to get it to the Nationals, and you must have did a good enough job because there it is right there.
I guess that's so.
Very cool. All right, and of course, like everyone else, storage under the bed.
Storage under the bed.
I carry an alternator, extra alternator.
Extra alternator, tools, every electrical part I have a spare of.
Yeah, you gotta have them.
Yeah. I'd even haul a little trailer with a rear end and extra engine if I could. As long as you have it, you'll never need it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like taking an umbrella with you.
Yep.
Yep.
You usually end up helping other guys that didn't bring anything
Right.
with them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Well, I think now what you need to do is invite some people to this event for next year.
I would love to invite everybody. The event will have to look at the calendar, but will be the basic same weekend next year. Will be our 48th annual, and it looks like we'll be doing patches again next year with 48 on them. Same design patch of the classic PI road sign for, like I said, our 47th year in Canada, and we're the longest on the go. Please come and join us. It's a great place to visit and stay afterwards. Come spend your money.
All right, man. Well, thanks for showing her to us.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything, John.
You're welcome. I'll get a shot of the Nightcrawler